Hello, folks. I usually think about very complex problems that are there among humans, right? If you think about it, there is this complex problem of trust and understanding trust and trusting someone or some entity or something, right? For example, let's say I have a team of say, or I have a team of say 10 people who I work with, and we are all at the same level. There is no leader, let's say. How do I trust these people, right? How do I form a trust factor? It is based on, I think, depends on the context. Trust what? Trust them to get the work done, or trust them to actually tell the truth when they are actually telling something, say about work or in general. But in general, it's hard, like to expect everyone to tell the truth, and you can't even know if they are talking their mind or. I mean, but it's not necessary that whatever is in their mind is what they are intending or whatever, right? Because sometimes, because people are not just their thoughts, right? People can have any number of thoughts, any thoughts, and all the random thoughts also. But then, what they want in the long term, what they intend to do, is the key thing, right? So it is possible that they think random stuff like, "Hey, this team, I'm going to leave the team and whatnot," and the next day they probably think, "No, that was just an impulsive thought and like random thought, or out of anger, I just thought it." So people can't just keep talking their mind or and telling their thoughts all the time and whatnot. That will just be garbage, too much of garbage, and you'll have to go like get through the garbage and understand what is important, what is not important, especially for that person, right? And for you also, like what do you consider important, like, but then reality is like it's going to be hard to understand what is going on in someone's mind unless you can read minds, in which case you have a big superpower. But mind reading is still not going to help because like I said, people can be thinking too many thoughts. If you get hold of all those thoughts, still not going to help you. So actions are what matter. So if people do take actions based on their thoughts, and do some stuff and whatnot, so what they think, what they say, and what they do, if they are in sync, people call it that, if someone says XYZ and they think XYZ and they do XYZ, they are at peace. So that's the ideal case scenario, but a lot of times people have different kinds of conflicting thoughts and whatnot, and different opinions, different ideas, different what do you say, sides of the same problem solution and whatnot, different solutions and whatnot. Finally they come to a conclusion like, okay, let's just go with this and choose something out of their different ideas, and then finally they're like, okay, this is what I'll do, and then they'll say it and whatnot. So as of now, I think trust is a very hard problem, yes, in humans and in among humans and entities and whatnot. So like you can't easily just say that I trust someone. You'll need some experience and you'll need to understand trust about what. For example, let's say I trust that they will do the work. Then, based on history, you'll just say, okay, till now I've noticed that they do their work, whatever they say they'll do, and I trust that they'll get the work done. So, but hereafter you can't say for sure. But till now, that is the case. So for today, for some time, maybe for some time, I'll believe that I can, what do you say, piggyback on that trust, and I can hang on to that trust for some time based on history, right? So based on past history, you can probably predict the future little bit, right, to some extent. So this is like saying based on past. I mean, in stock markets and all that, in trading, they say past performance does not assure or ensure future performance or future results and all that. But in case of trust, like you can probably think that, like, okay, past 1 month, 3 months they have been delivering properly, or 6 months or 1 year or 2 years or 5 years they have been delivering properly. So here after also they'll probably deliver properly at least for some time. And it's like a sliding thing, like it will keep going on, the verification and understanding and evaluation of trust, right? So what about, like, say, integrity and trust? Like, let's say, um, one parent is like trying to send their daughter with some guy, let's say the daughter's boyfriend. Now how do the parents trust the boyfriend, right? I sometimes wondered, is there a software solution to this? For example, let's say the parents trust say some other person, and that person trusts other person, and they have some system, virtual system, which notes this trust, similar to how you have friends and whatnot. You have trusted set of people in your system, in your profile. Let's say the parents trust their son, and their son trusts some friend A, and then the friend A trusts friend B, friend B trusts friend C, and then friend C trusts the boyfriend of that daughter, and so the parents can trust. But then there is also the level of trust, right? No one can easily say the level of trust. Out of 100%, I trust this person, or 75%, in terms of like this person is like sane, and they will not do anything bad. For example, they will not abuse the daughter or rape the daughter or something like that, right? Do something bad to the daughter. So the parents will want to understand that will this boyfriend hurt the daughter or not, because they want to protect their daughter and they want their daughter to be safe, right? So but it's really hard to create such a system, because sometimes people can simply just lie that, or just be blinded by their trust. Also trust, like sometimes you can also notice that people are different to different kinds of people, right? To some people they might be in some way, to other people they might be in a different way. It's very possible, in which case just because you trust someone to be actually decent and whatnot, let's say a woman trusts a man, thinking that he is very good and he will not harm her, but then it's possible that the man probably can harm someone else, right? He probably does not harm her for some reason, but the parameters change when you are trying to evaluate the same person with someone else, right? So it's a hard to calculate thing, trust, and say things like loyalty and whatnot. Very hard problems, and today we have those problems only, right? For example, companies want to understand how can they trust their employees, who are their loyal employees. It's based on past performance history and whatnot, some evaluations, whatever they think makes sense, and then psychology and whatnot, they can learn from that. I still haven't learned much about trust, loyalty, and whatnot, integrity, and all, and how do you understand and evaluate it, say, based on psychology. And even people, how do they evaluate if a company, if they can actually trust the company and all? It's not easy. You just take a shot, and maybe you can trust them for some time, maybe later you can't. At any point in time they can break the trust, you can break the trust, like they will be like this person is a loyal customer, but then you might just leave them for some reason. It can be anything, right? So to clearly understand trust, there's a lot of things to look at, and there's context. Trust in what? For example, a company and a customer, they look at, is the customer a loyal customer? The company will look at that. The customer will look at, like, is the company a nice company that I can trust, that will provide support, service, say, take my feedback and things like that. So it's very context dependent. Even then, like the company might take, say, feedback only for some things, some products or some specific things, some specific features, but not for everything and whatnot. So it's very, very specific. So there's a lot of context and like a lot of specificity that you have to look at when it comes to trust and loyalty, and such stuff, and integrity. It's hard to measure these and evaluate these and verify these, but you can probably understand these through psychology and say psychiatry and whatnot, and research, and probably understand how you can actually trust and evaluate people, things, and whatnot. So yeah, that's all I had for this video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.